Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. I've just had to mute Rolly there because we can still hear an echo in his background. Um, it's the Premier League predictions tonight, and I'm joined by Rolly and Pete. How are you two guys? Are you okay?
Very well, Tony. You?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad. I'll just pop Rolly back on mute because there's still that echo. Right, yeah, so guys and girls, I mean, look, I know I haven't had a show for a little while since the Brighton game. I was due to do a show on Saturday, but I did pull the plug on doing it about an hour and a half beforehand because it was far too hot. It was like 32 degrees outside. It was absolutely roasting inside, and I said, no chance of me doing this show. So I just cancelled doing that, and I just thought I'll wait till Wednesday now. Now the international breaks over. If you do like what you see, please do smash the like. It really does help the channel stay up towards the top of the search and means new viewers find it easy. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community we have here. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Also, if you want to become a member, it's 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign. Right. So let's get into some comments straight away, and then there's a couple of things to go through before we actually get into the main part of it. Mason says, evening all, please remember to keep comments respectful in the chat. Thank you very much indeed, Mason. And evening to you, my friend. Mag says, Toon. Good evening, Mag. Evening, Tony, says Ian. Good evening, Ian. Hope you're well. Mason and Ian talking to each other. Evening all, says Sefton. Good evening, Sefton. Why? What happened last night? Like, we know what happened last night, Ian.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
But all I was saying to that is, where was that in the Ukraine? Where was that in the Ukraine game?
Yeah. Mind saying that was in Poland, different circumstances, isn't it? But, fair play to Ukraine. They played well. And, Mason says the England game. BS says, evening, Tony, Uncle Rolly, and Pedro. Good evening to you, B. I hope you're well.
Good evening, B.
Ian says he doesn't know what Mason's talking about. Yeah, of course you don't, Ian. Andrew says hello. Hi, Andrew. Hope you're well. Sefton says, don't forget all. You can all help the channel by subscribing. Cheers, Sefton. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. Triple A played well last night, says Sefton. How are you, the lads? Yes, he did. He didn't have a bad game at all. Ben says hi. Yeah, he done all right. Hi, Tony and Rolly. How are you? And can you believe next week is Champions League? Yeah, it's hard to believe. Next Tuesday, isn't it? It's just, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Ollie says, hi, Tony and Rolly. Everyone, good to see you too. Back after the international break. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, like I say, it was just far too hot on Saturday, and I just thought, no, I'm going to be absolutely roasting. And even if I had the fan on, it wouldn't have circulated any cooler. It would have been all warm air. It was just red hot, too hot to do it. Paul says, evening, everyone. Good evening, Paul. Hope you're well.
Paul.
Hi, Tony, Rolly, and Pizza. Sefton. Good evening, Sefton. Granny's in the chat.
Oh, God.
Evening. Where you been, Tony Torn? I've been just we just had the international break. Has Rolly been on that show 10 years younger? Yeah. Well, he's without a beard. Jake says that's not Rolly. Well, I hope it's not an imposter. Rolly's like James Bond. Every so often they replace him with a younger, better looking actor, says Beer. Tony, did you have a nice break? Hi, Peter. How are you? Says Ben. Yeah, I mean, it's been strange not coming on. It was just, like I say, there's not a lot going on when there's an international break, is it? So I just thought, yeah, and I had things to do, so I got that sorted out. Ollie says, hi, everyone. It's good to see you lads back after the international break. Thank you very much. John, boys. All right, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Here he is, Predator. Holy shit, you're back. Nice to see you, Tony and Rolly. Where the hell you been, lads? Well, it's been an international break, hasn't it? And I was going to do a pre-match show on Saturday for the with the lineups, but obviously, like I say, it was far too hard to do one, so I just waited. Now it's cooled down, thank God for that. Good evening, Tony, Rolly, and Peter. Good evening, Gareth. I don't know if Rolly's sorted his sound out. Brilliant new look, Rolly, says Sefton.
Thanks, Sefton.
What a ravishing panel we have once again, says Granny. Yeah, we've still got a bit of interference on Rolly. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe the gremlins are in his phone or his laptop. Predator looks like John's been on the Big Macs. Oh no, it's Rolly. Sorry, joking, says Predator. Great to see you, Predator. Anyway, mate, absolutely fantastic. Ear shaped just for you, Granny, says Jake. God's sake, Jake. Jesus Christ, honestly. Well, so what have we missed since we've been away? Well, one thing we do know is everybody probably on the 1st of September watched the Amazon documentary, the final one. And we now know that we're going back to Adidas next season, which is a fantastic move by the club. That was probably one of the reasons why we nicked Peter Silverstone from Arsenal, because, I mean, look at the job he'd done for Arsenal. He obviously knew people. And for Adidas to even say, you know, it's great to be back, and, you know, I just think it's absolutely fantastic that we've got Adidas back. It's better than what Castore can offer, in all honesty. And I can't wait to see what Adidas come out with next season. I mean, I'll come to you first, Pete. Your thoughts on Adidas coming back?
Brilliant to be back with them, isn't it? One of the best sporting brands of all time as well. I mean, yeah, Castore, it's not been the greatest, like, has it? Maybe the designs haven't been so bad, but people saying that they don't fit properly. And also people still waiting for deliveries, would you believe it? I mean, that's far too long, and no wonder we're going to part companies with them come the end of the season, and we're getting a return of a big spawn of a big kit manufacturer for next season as well, and this will help us generate a lot more money to the club as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I mean, you know, Adidas is a huge brand, and you know, we've seen what they're saying, what Arsenal's got with them as well. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be brilliant. I don't know what the actual ins and outs of the financial deal is, but it'll probably be huge. And if that's the case, bring it on. I say it, bring it on. And, you know, absolutely fantastic. I mean, Rolly, what's your thoughts on the Adidas coming back?
I think it's superb. They've always done decent kit designs, and they're paying us good money. It's hard to believe that Castore are only paying us $5 million a season for the kit. It's criminal. But now we've got a top brand, and it makes sense for them as well, because they're trying to grow the market in Saudi Arabia as well, because they do this kit for the Saudi national team, so they want to be able to do more business in Saudi. And with our ownership, it's a perfect fit for them. So it's a win-win all round. Also, we don't know the figure, but they're alluding that it would be the biggest deal in the club's history, and it could be worth hundreds of millions of pounds. We believe it's a 5-year deal, so it's probably in the region of, if it's hundreds plural, will be in the region of 40 million a year, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing,
right.
But
that's just jumping over
40 to 50 million.
Yeah, excellent. Just going to go into this. Sorry, Rolly. Ian said he's give a £5 donation. Thank you very much indeed, Ian. He says, don't need to talk about last night's game, guys. Okay, well, unfortunately, Ian, sorry, mate, but we will be coming up. We will be coming out with that one. So, so other ones, so other things that's been out since then as well. So not only have we got the Adidas kit deal through the door as well, there is now talk that Bruno is very, very close now to this final agreement on this contract to be signed. Now, there is rumour circulating there will be a release clause of between 100 and 150 million pounds in that contract as well. It has been rumoured that Liverpool wanted to pay 100 million for him in the summer and were turned down. PSG came in with an offer more than Liverpool, and that was turned down as well. Pete, Bruno, new contract. I mean, are you happy with having a release clause of 100 to 150 million, or would you rather it be a bit more than that?
I think it got to be a bit more than that, surely. It depends because how massively we want to keep him at the football club for, as well. So, but it just shows in a way if he signs a contract, he's committing his future to the football club as well, in a way, because he knows that the fans adore him. They're right behind him as well. He knows at the moment that he's probably not being on greatest of forms, and he's coming out and saying himself, which is good honesty from him as well. I mean, yeah. He's just a breath of fresh air, this football club.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure about the clause being put in there, but there again, I suppose if you've got a clause in there, it means you've got to at least bid 100 million at least for him. So, it's better than having no clause in there where somebody could come in with a low ball offer. Do you know what I mean? So, but I mean, Rolly, your thoughts on Bruno close to signing a new deal?
That's excellent news. I'd rather there not be a clause, because then we can dictate the price until the final year. But the thing you've got to remember is that just because someone meets the clause doesn't mean Bruno goes, because he's got to want to go there as well. It just gives them, it just basically tells people we ain't going to do business under a certain price. I heard it was 150. I would want it more, closer to 200. But to be honest, I think with Bruno that when he leaves, and he will leave eventually, I think he wants to go to Real Madrid. And unless they come in, I don't think he's going anywhere.
No. I don't think so either, Rolly. I agree with that. Predator said, I've heard 40 million a season from Adidas, but it could be more. Who knows? It's definitely better than what Castora paid. Absolutely, Predator. Definitely. I mean, if it's 40 million a season, that's great. Evening, everyone, says Lawrence. Good evening, Lawrence.
Evening, Lawrence. Will be well.
Fantastic global brand. Big step forward, global fan base. Get in, says Holly, absolutely on the Adidas deal. Andrew says Slabhead was Scotland's best player.
Oh, when he came on and scored that own goal, I'm thinking, for God's sake. I want to go on this Harry Maguire thing. Southgate's saying that what he's getting is absolutely out of order. But the fact is, Southgate, in a way, is not helping himself by selecting him week in, week out when it comes to England, in a way.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, there's Harry Maguire.
Oh, Jesus.
But, no, he's not. That's the thing. And thing is, what annoys me is, right, that's players who play week in, week out. You've got Tomori sitting on the bench who plays for AC Milan, one of the best centre-backs in Italy, one of the best centre-backs in Italian football, and he can't get past Maguire. Why on hell is he not getting a game ahead of Maguire when, not last season before he was player of the season in Italy? I mean, what's your thoughts, Pete Tomori? I would have him at Newcastle, Tomori, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, I would totally agree. He should be ahead of Maguire. Maguire is completely out of form and he looks rusty as anything. If Man United aren't playing him now for a reason, then why should England in a way as well, if he's like that, if that's the way he is at the moment? And I'm sorry, but I mean, and that's why I do not trust this manager as well of England. Still,
I mean, look, we're going to talk. Sorry, Ian, but we have to talk about last night's game before we go into this show because, look, last night we played an in-form Scotland team. Let's be real here. This team have won 5 on the bounce in the qualifiers. They've beaten the Spain side 2-0 as well. So they're no mug Scotland. They've been on a roll. They came up against us. Now I tell you what, we have one hell of a player in that team called Jude Bellingham. What a player he is.
Oh, and yes, absolutely.
He's already a hero in Madrid. I mean, they loved him from the first 20 minutes he pulled on a Madrid shirt and played that first game. And he's 20-year-old, and that's the frightening part. He's 20. He's got a hell of a long way to go in the game. And this lad, I can see winning Ballon d'Ors because he's that good. I mean, look, Foden had a good game. He scored a good goal. I thought all in all, England showed their class over Scotland. I think, even Steve Clark sort of said, this is a level above what they are. But I mean, take nothing away from Scotland. They have been on a great run recently, and we went there and ended it. And obviously, Kane got on the score sheet as well. I mean, look, I'll come to you, Pete, and then Rolly. I mean, Pete, last night's game, I mean, what a game that was, wasn't it?
It was,
for the 150th, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game. I think we dominated. I mean, Scotland did show glimpses to try and get back into it, particularly when they got the goal back as well, and it made us a little bit nervy at times. But then we fetched some extra, the other substitutions came on, and we did kill the game off through Harry Kane as well. I thought Eze could have scored after that as well. We had plenty of opportunities in the first half. Trippier was good. I thought Kyle Walker was fantastic again. Foden just shows why he should be getting an opportunity, a start in the England team now as well. Jude Bellingham, wow, he is unbelievable. What a player he is at 20 years old as well, and is really making a name for himself as well. So, yeah. But yeah, good win. I was just good why we didn't show that in the Ukraine game, particularly with that being a Euro qualifier.
Yeah, absolutely, Pete. I totally agree. But, but let's be honest, we drew 1-1 with Ukraine. Italy drew 1-1 with North Macedonia, the team we hammered 7-0. So,
well, yeah.
And that was with Sandro Tonali in the team. So, it just shows you, the Italians, I mean, yes, they went and beat Ukraine just last night, but the thing is, though, still, they couldn't beat Macedonia, and that must be their nemesis, because remember, Macedonia stopped them going to the World Cup in Qatar by beating them 2-1. So, it's all good for England in a way, because we've still got that nice gap, that nice cushion, and obviously the next game is against Italy at home in the qualifiers. And I'll be in Benidorm when that's on, so I'll be watching that in a bar in Benidorm somewhere. So that'll be absolutely fantastic. I'll just go to some comments. I'll get Rolly's thoughts. My Adidas shirt of 20 years plus is still in better condition than more recent ones we've had. Do you know what it is, Paul? I've got them from like the 2009-10 season when we were in the championship. I've got the long sleeve one with Love and Crayons on the back, and I've got the short sleeve one with the Coca-Cola badges on, and it's the championship winning shirt. And that's still going strong as well. I mean, Adidas, just absolutely fantastic. Can't wait. Billy says, hi, Billy, hope you're well, my friend. Billy. He says, good to see you guys back, hope you're well. Yeah, absolutely fine, Billy. Like I say, there wasn't a lot going on over the international break, and I was going to do a show Saturday, but 32 degrees Celsius. I thought there's no way I'm sitting doing a show in that heat. I would have just been sweating my bollocks off all the way through. Excuse the language. There's some candy in yet, and says Granny. You rang, says Andrew. I'd have tamori tomorrow, absolutely. Jack says, evening, Tony, hope you're well. Yeah, absolutely fine, Jack, thank you, and hope you're well too, mate. But yeah, I mean, look, I'll come to Rolly now. I mean, before I unmute you, Rolly, because there's obviously a bit of an echo going on. But again, what was your thoughts on Scotland game last night? And how highly do you rate Bellingham? Because I think he could be one of the best players in the world.
Oh, to be honest, I've not seen Jude Bellingham play since the World Cup. And when I saw him last night, I'd actually forgotten how good this guy is. Some of his ball control and how he's getting out of tight situations, just a joy to watch. I thought we controlled the game apart from that sort of like 5-10 minute spell after they got that goal back. I don't know what on earth Maguire's doing in the squad, let alone starting. It just reminds me of the I don't know if people have seen it on YouTube where a minister in the Ghana Parliament is talking about Harry Maguire scoring when the opposition can't score goals. Maguire will be scoring the goals for them, which is just it sort of summed up his performance against Scotland last night. I think we've got a lot to be optimistic with this team. I think that if Maguire doesn't play much for Man United, he's going to be forced to drop him from the squad because he's not playing, so he can't be getting in the squad. It's not like he's been injured and going to get his place back. He's sort of like 17th choice centre half at Man United at the moment. I think if God forbid, if I was in the Man U squad, I think I'd be ahead of Maguire as centre half. And I'm a 56-year-old man who's out of shape. But yeah, I thought we played well. I thought we looked sharp. They always seem to be able to find a guy free in the middle or behind. There's always balls on behind the defence for people to run on to. When we picked them out, I thought I like Phil Foden. Always have liked Phil Foden. I think he's a superb player. I just think it's just all-round good performance apart from Maguire.
Hi, absolutely.
Looks like we've lost Tony forever.
Yeah, he's just said he's just got to come back and come back in.
Yeah, but I was quite pleased to see Duncan from the
He was really good.
I thought he looked very assured at the back, even though he had had to play next to Maguire.
Yeah. Yeah, I just had to pop out there and pop back in because I didn't know if there was something wrong with my connection, my side, but there's still that echo there, so I don't know what it is. I think it must be your side, Rolly.
I don't know. I said I'm on a new phone, so I'm not sure whether it's that.
No.
Because normally I when I'm on the laptop. But
maybe that's what it is. Maybe because you got the new phone and obviously something may be on the settings and it's just that's why I came out and went back in thinking, oh, maybe that, but it's not my end, so not to worry. I mean, look, yeah, it was a good game last night, and you know, just to get that win is even better against Scotland as well. I mean, look, we had that lacklustre draw against them in the Euros when we drew 0-0 when Stones hit the post. But you know, but to go up to Hampden Park and win 3-1 up there, brilliant. Ian says Bellingham was class. To be fair, he was, Ian, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Sefton says he's class. Billy says, so good to see England look so good. I have a theory. It's because we were back and free. Yeah, without Jordan Henderson. Sandro pulling the sickie from Milan away, says Jake. Well, the talk is he's got muscle fatigue and they reckon he might miss Saturday's game but be back for Tuesday. Because I'll tell you now, there's no chance Tonali wants to miss Tuesday's game. Not a chance. And I think he'd rather sit out Saturday if he had to than miss Tuesday's game. Predator says Southgate, rambling on about fans giving Slabhead stick, but in all honesty, Southgate deserves all the stick for even picking him in the first place. Absolutely. Definitely. I thought Dunk had a class game. I thought Dunk was really good last night, Lewis Dunk.
He was, yeah.
Why that guy is not at a... I mean, I know he's at Brighton and it's a good club he's at, but I'm surprised he's never gone to a bigger club. Because that guy could fit into anybody's defence. But I know he's like 32 now, isn't he? So he's
31, yes, he's 31.
31. Evening, Tony Nolan chat says, Wayne, good evening to you, Wayne.
No, Wayne.
Yeah, Dunk was awesome last night, absolutely. The tea lady at Man U would get a stop before Maguire. Yeah, audio feedback, yeah, there is. That's why I had to do that. Is it me? Granny says, is it me or does Rolly look younger? Every stream I got told I look 50 all the time. So, yeah, so we've got through that. Right, let's get on to the main part, and that's the predictions part now. So, the first game of the weekend, I'll come to you first, Pete. So the first game of the weekend is a trip over to the West Midlands, and it's to Molineux, and it's the home of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they are taking on Mr. Teeth's Liverpool. Right. What's your thoughts on this game? Wolves v Liverpool.
I think it's going to be a win for Liverpool, I would say. Liverpool on a bit of a roll at the moment. Wolves are just really, really struggling, aren't they? They're really, really struggling. And I think I think Liverpool are going to make it a very comfortable visit there, in my opinion. Keeping Salah, which I can't believe Liverpool decided didn't, which I think they were crazy not to accept the offer, have kept a hold of him. And I think I can only see this going one way, and it's going to be a Liverpool win, and I think they will win this game by 3-0.
3-0. Wow, that's a good one. I'll just get into some comments. Gary says, evening everyone. Sorry I'm late. The bus broke down. Haha, no problem, mate. No worries. Lewis is excited for Tuesday. Mason says, Dunk is Brighton through and through. Won't leave Brighton. Yeah, maybe not. Lewis says, hope we win Saturday. Kel Walker, man the match for me. Not player of the match. Yeah, absolutely. Lawrence says, Liverpool to win this one. 3-1 says Paul Gardner. 3-1 away says Sefton for Liverpool. Yeah, he's got to be good because his wife. Ian says 2-0 Liverpool. And that's what McGranny. Right, okay, so Rolly, give me your thoughts on quick thoughts on this game and a scoreline, please.
I think this game is it's not going to be close. I think Wolves, as Pete said, are struggling.
Yeah.
But it's football. You never know. They could have had Liverpool's luck and actually come away with something. But I don't see that happening. I agree with. I think the only reason Liverpool turned down the money for Salah was it was so late in the window. But it's even so. You think with the money they offered him, so I offered Liverpool. It's still a bit surprising they didn't take it, but they'll come back in January and try and get him then. They'll probably come in and offer at the beginning of the window, which will give him a chance to replace him. And Liverpool, a good side there. I don't know if they're starting to gel. I mean, they had a bit of fortune against us. We let them off the hook. They're lucky against Bournemouth. I don't see their luck running out. I think it's going to be a comfortable Liverpool win. I'm going to go one better than Pete. I'm going to say it's 4-0 Liverpool.
Ooh.
4-0 Liverpool. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, look, I've got a feeling, yes, I think Liverpool will win this one. I think Wolves will score. I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. Because I've got no Van Dijk at the back. He's out, suspended for 2 games. So,
yes.
For his actions that we carried on against Newcastle. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to Wolves on this game. So, right. So the next game is we're staying in the West Midlands, and we're just going a little bit further across in the West Midlands. I think it's across, and a little bit down. We're going to pop to Birmingham, and it's Villa Park, Aston Villa v Crystal Palace, and we'll come to Rolly first. Give us your thoughts, Rolly, and the scoreline for Villa v Palace.
And Crystal Palace, they're normally a tough side to play against, not organised. They do have some good players. I really like that Eze. I think he's a really class player. Last outing, they did really well, but I think this is where Villa bounced back. Had a couple of bad results. Obviously, they got thumped by Liverpool in the last game, and they're going to want to put that right at Villa Park. I see them coming out of this ahead. I think it'll be close, but I think that Villa will win it 2-1.
Interesting. Paul says 1-1. Sefton says Mrs. Sefton loves you, Rolly. Villa 2-2. And I think Villa win this one, says Lawrence. Pete, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yes, it'll be a close one as well. Palace, again, not an easy team to play against as well. But Villa being at home as well, I think they'll win this 2-1 as well. So 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. Clarky says, hi guys. Hi Clarky, hope you're well, mate. I think, yes, I think home advantage for Villa. I think they'll do well, but Palace have got some decent players on that team. Edwards on fire, scoring at the moment. Eze as well. I mean, look, I think if we had probably got that takeover done a little bit earlier, we probably would have had Eze in our team, in all honesty, because Jamie Rubin always said, well, Jamie Rubin was at QPR, so he knew what Eze was like and highly rated him. But now he's going to be worth a lot of money. Now he's starting for England, and he should have scored last night, and probably disappointed didn't score. But there is a talent there. I'm going to say Villa win this one. It's going to be an edgy game. But Villa are not very good at keeping a clean sheet, so I'm going to say 2-1 as well. Pete, I'm like you, 2-1. So I'll just go into some comments and see what people say. 3-1 says Ian. It's from Ian. Wayne says 2-2. Holly says, I think with Villa, recent bad form, 2-2. Just home from the pub, just eating, says Clarky. Yeah, you got the munchies, mate. Very quick on the counter now of Palace. Yeah, absolutely, Gary. Absolutely, mate. So, yeah. Right, Pete, we'll come back to you. So the next game, and this time we're moving south. We're going down to London. We're going to West London. And we're going to the little place called Craven Cottage. It's Fulham against Premier League newcomers who are yet to put a point on the board. Luton Town. Your thoughts, Pete? Can Luton finally break that duck? Yeah.
One winner for me, and it's not Luton, I'm afraid. Luton, I think we all predicted they were a team that were going to struggle at the minute, and that has proven to be the case. And I can't see him going to Craven Cottage and getting anything, unfortunately, as well. So I expect the winless run for Luton to continue, and to Fulham are going to win by 2-0.
Yeah, Luton were hard done to against West Ham, though. They should have had an equaliser, shouldn't they? So they were unlucky, weren't they, Luton? You know. But we'll go to the comments, see what the comments are saying. But I see what you're saying on that one. Lawrence says he expects Fulham to win this one. Evening all, says Mary. Good evening, Mary. Hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed last night's game as well. Ian says 3-0 to Fulham. Score draw, says Sefton. Toonami, hi. He says, I reckon Luton will go down with no points. What, worse than the Mackhams? Oh, Jesus. Luton don't win all season, says Granny. Trolls says, hi, Tony, PD, and George Foreman.
Evening, Trolls.
Hi, Trolls.
George Foreman.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yes, I'm getting back to proper sleep. Oh, excellent, Mary. Excellent news. Great news, that.
That's good, yeah.
2-0 to Fulham, says Holly. And 3-0 to Fulham, says Wayne. So, yeah. I mean, look. Yeah. So I'll come to Rory, and I'm going to ask Rory his thoughts on this game, Fulham v Luton Town.
I've seen a bit of Luton play this season. They play with a lot of heart. They're up for it. They have a good go. But basically, they're a bang average championship side that's actually made it into the Premier League. Their winless run continues. I don't think it'll be a comfortable win for Fulham. They'll have to work for it, but I still see them winning 2-0.
Thanks for that, Rory. Yeah, I mean, look, it'll be a tough game at Craven Cottage. Fulham haven't had the best starts, really, have they? But I'm actually going to say... What am I going to say? I'm going to say 2-1 to Fulham, because I think Luton will score. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to Fulham. I think Fulham win this anyway. As much as I'd like to see a fairy story like a Luton Town win or a draw, but I think Fulham win this one 2-1 against Luton. Paul's put Fulham 2, Bournemouth 1.
Well, you got the wrong team, Paul.
What he means. Yeah. Okay, so the next game is we're heading up to the northwest, and it's to we're going to Salford, but not Salford City, but the other place, Salford United. Sorry, Manchester United versus Brighton at Old Trafford. I'll come to you first, Rolly. Thoughts on this game?
It's an interesting one, because in season gone past, I'd say there's only one winner in this game. I still say that, but it's the different side that's going to win. I think Man United are all over the place at the moment, and long may that continue. Long may that continue. Hopefully they'll start with Maguire and he can score an own goal for Brighton.
And Johnny Evans.
But Brighton they're one of the best sides in the league. They're on form. I can see them ripping Man U to pieces. I really can. And I'm going to say that it's going to be 3-1 away win to Brighton.
Interesting. I mean, Mary says, I'm going to be brave, going to give Luton a draw simply because I need a chance. Lawrence says, think it'll be a tight game, but Man U win this. Andrew reckons 5-0 to Brighton. 2-2 says Paul. 2-1 to Brighton says Paul. Paul Anson, sorry. Andrew says 10 slag out. Ian says 2-all. Sefton says Manx 3-2. Holly says 2-1 to Man U. Lawrence says, feel Man U are due a home defeat in the way things have gone so far. Still nervous, but hope we wake up and win. Brighton 2-1. Come on, says Wayne. Okay, Pete. So, what's your thoughts on this game?
This would be a very interesting one as well.
Mm.
And yeah, I think Brighton are going to go to Old Trafford and take 3 points as well. I mean, Man U, just a really poor side at the moment. Really, really poor side. I mean, I don't think it's helping them what's happened with Sancho and what's also happened with Anthony as well. Is he being dropped from the side as well, is he?
Apparently so. To do with the allegations going on, he's apparently been given leave of absence. So again, I have to wait and see what happens on that one. But it's not great at Man United at the moment, is it? With players,
No.
The Brazilian manager dropped him from the squad as soon as he found out something like that had happened. He said, "Right,
Yep.
he's not in the squad," and dropped him straight away. And I think Man U's had to follow suit now.
Yeah, I think they've had to do that as well. Man, you look at the way they took us apart. Sorry, Brian Love, look there, the way they took us apart down their place. And I think they're going to go to Old Trafford and win. And look what happened last season. They won it there as well. And I'm going to say 3-1 to Brighton as well.
Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, Pete. That's not a bad shout. Mary says Brighton Seagulls beat the crap out of Man U, and that is kindness. I see we are linked to Jadon Sancho. I would have him in our club. He is quality, but it's Man U who are not at the moment. I mean, it's an interesting situation, that, Trolls. I think they're going to cancel his contract, aren't they? He's going to be a free agent. I mean, I would take him, but depends what he wants wages. But there again, if it's going to build him back up, I don't think wages would be an issue, to be fair. I mean, look, I think for Ten Hag to come out and call him, especially when he's had mental health problems, I mean, look, it's disgusting from a manager to be like that.
You don't do that. Do not do that at all.
He's hung him out to dry. You don't air your dirty washing in public, I'm sorry. And, I mean, Pete, would you have Sancho?
I was thinking, but you know what? If Eddie Howe, yes, and who could say Eddie Howe couldn't get the best out of him if he was to come here? Because that idiot is not making him doing it. And he's putting the player down as well. Really putting the player down and hanging him out to dry as well. So, because Sancho in the Bundesliga was a quality player. That's what he needs to be again. That player like he was at Borussia Dortmund. Just a shame it's not worked at Man United, but there's still something in the lad, and he's very young as well.
Yeah,
So,
BS I wouldn't take Sancho. He's a champagne player.
But again, it could be all down to Ten Hag.
Troll says it's a toxic dressing room at Man United. He would thrive here, in my opinion. There you go.
What, he could?
Yeah. So what was your scoreline again? Sorry for that. 3-1, did you say?
3-1 to Brighton.
I think Brighton could beat Man United. I don't think Man U have had the greatest time. So depends how Brighton turn up. If Brighton turn up like they did against us, then they're going to cakewalk it. So I'm going to say, I do apologise about the aeroplane at the moment going out of my head. I'm going to say Brighton win this 2-1. I think 2-1. So that's my thoughts anyway. Um, right. So people come back to you, and we're heading south again. We're going back to London, but we're going to North London this time, and we're going to the Toilet Bowl, which is Tottenham Hotspur versus Sheffield United. Now, Anga is having a good time there, isn't he? I mean, they're flying. James Maddison's flying for Spurs. Sheffield United got a hard-fought point against Everton, a game that should have beat Everton in all honesty. Pete, what's your thoughts? Tottenham versus Sheffield United.
Yes, a bit of a surprise how Tottenham have gone this season, considering they've sold Harry Kane and all that. But they said they haven't played any of the bigger boys yet. That's the thing you could say. But yeah, I think Maddison's been a very good buy for them as well. I think it's some other players that are really proven, like Basuma's getting that opportunity now as well. I'll be interested to see how Brennan Johnson there does as well. I don't think that's a bye-bye for Spurs as well. I think they need someone because Richarlison is a flop at the moment, an absolute flop at the moment. He really, really is. So I think Spurs have had to go on the transfer market on the final day and get someone like Brennan Johnson in as well. Yeah, and I think Spurs so far will continue this good run of form. Sheffield United got a point, but again, it's a team you're expecting are really going to struggle in the season as well. And I think this will be a 3-0 win to Spurs.
3-0 to Spurs. Excellent. Right, before I get to Rolly, let's see what the Spurs should win easily, says Lawrence. Go Sheffield United, says Trolls. Sefton reckons 5-0 to Spuds. Wayne says, I would have Sancho in a heartbeat. Think he's quality, just in the wrong team for me. Yeah, he is. Spurs, I think, will win this 3-0. Gary says, me too, Sefton 5-0 for Spurs. 3-0, says Ian. After the performance that United put up against City, I think they could gain the draw 1-1. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. And Spurs 3-0, says Wayne. Rolly, what's your thoughts on this game?
Oh, to be honest, I've actually been mildly impressed with Sheffield United, the way they played. I think they're actually a lot better than I thought they were. They're still going to struggle, but they're going to be difficult to beat. And you're in a game. So if you're not on form, they'll get something out of the games. And then I had them as dead certs to go straight back down, but I'm not so sure now. A lot of it will depend on how they do against the teams that are going to be around them, the Lutons and Evertons of this world. I still think Spurs will win, but I think it'll be a real battle. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs, but it's going to be a tight game because Sheffield United will defend deep, but will also look to break. And obviously they've got Cameron Archer up front. He scored this fantastic goal the week against Everton. So they've got a bit of they've given themselves like a puncher's chance because they've got someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. So if Spurs aren't on the metal at the back, they could quite easily get upset in this game. But I'd expect Spurs to win. I'd say 2-1 in a battling game.
Yeah, good shout, Rolly. Good shout. I mean, look, I think Sheffield United have not done too bad. They were unlucky against City. They should have beat Everton, in all honesty. I think they'll prove a test for Tottenham. Not a massive test, but they'll prove a test. I still think Spurs come out on top in this game, and I'm going to say 3-1 Spurs. That's my thoughts on that game. Right, so the next game is we're going to come to Rolly on this one. and we're staying in London. But we're moving across London. We're moving to where the Olympic Stadium used to be. Well, it is, which is now the London Stadium, and that's home to West Ham United versus Manchester City. Rolly, how do you see this game going on Saturday, and who wins it?
It's an interesting one, that, because West Ham have been playing well. But Man City haven't really got going yet, and they look really, really good. It'll be a difficult game down at the London Stadium. I think it's really a case of whether West Ham make any mistakes. If they make too many mistakes, they'll get beat comfortably. But the way I'm thinking, I fancy them to get a point out of this. I'm going 1-1.
Interesting. I'll get the Pete in a moment. I'll just go to some comments. Ian says 3-1 to City. Interesting, Ian. 3-1 to City, says Sefton as well. Troll says 4-0 to City. Man City win next game, please. West Ham 1, City 3, says Paul. 4-1 to Man City, says Paul Hansen. Going for a City win, says Lawrence. Holly says 3-2 to Man City for Holly. That's a close game. Pete, what's your thoughts?
This will be a very interesting one as well, a very close game as well. West Ham doing well. They've bought players to replace Declan Rice. They did well to bring in Ward-Prowse and also Alvarez as well. They've kept Paqueta as well. Antonio's looking good to score goals as well, which is really, really good to see as well. So, yeah, very interesting game. But City, it's hard for anyone to stop them at the moment. That's the thing, isn't it? Maybe they haven't at times got our first gear just to beat teams, but just shows why they're the champions as well and why they are where they are at the moment as well. But this will be a close game as well. So I'm going to see City to just win this 2-1.
Close game. I see fancy City to proper roll over West Ham 4-0. Wayne says 4-0 City, Holland hat-trick, easy. I'm a bit sad we only improved our first 11 with one player, says Trolls. Yeah, well, we've got the younger players in, but yeah, I see what you mean, Trolls. Yeah, I mean, look, West Ham, it's at home. You know, they've not been too bad this season. To get a player like Alvarez and Edson Alvarez, who are highly rated, and I would love to have had him as a DM for us. A fantastic player. I think City will scrape this win, but they'll only just scrape it, and I'm going to say 2-1 City. I really think it will be a very, very tight game. So that's my thoughts on that one. Right. So the last game on Saturday is a rearranged game because this game should have been kicking off on a Sunday at 4:30. Instead, it was moved back until 5:30 on Saturday evening on Sky Sports. Pete will be there in all his glory. And it is Newcastle United versus Brentford at St James's Park. Right, Pete, kick this one off.
Oh, I just hope we can get back to winning ways. Hopefully Eddie Howe's got them in training, give them a bit of a rocket up the backside as well. We have been creating chances, but we've not been taking them in away as well. We've wasted quite a few glorious opportunities, and we certainly did do that at Brighton as well. So I'm just praying we hope we get back to winning ways. The gut-wrench thing for me is, unfortunately, is the day I go away on holiday to Lanzarote. And unfortunately, the game is playing when I'm on the plane, unfortunately. But hopefully when I land...
Oh, Pete, I thought you were going to be there. I didn't realise you were off to Lanzarote.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But hopefully when I touch down in Lanzarote, all I'm seeing is that we've picked up 3 points. Hopefully we will. If Tonali's out, maybe hope there'll be a little bit of a blow. But in a way, other players try and have to step up in a way as well. I want to see Lewis Hall given a chance. Hopefully, Botman's back as well. I'm really, really hoping he is because Burn's been poor, and I thought Target was absolutely horrendous against Brighton as well. If as I mentioned, if Tonali's out, maybe someone like Longstaff may come in, or possibly we're not sure about Anderson. We don't know what his injury's like as well. Hopefully Gordon continues where he's been leaving from as well. Hopefully Barnes gets a start as well. And also I think Wilson's pushing for a start as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say why we can't turn this around. I really hope we can. Eddie will do as much as he can to make sure we are ready for Saturday. And I'm going to have faith to see we will turn it around. I'm going to say 3-1 the Toon.
3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. That. I'll get to some comments before I get to Rolly. Predator says 69-0 to us. That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Bounce back ability 3-1. 3-0. How are the lads? Sefton. Only 69, says Gary. Nah, I'm going 3-1 to us, says Predator. Paul Gardner says 3-0 to the Toon. Lawrence says nervous for this game, but think we'll get the win. Hall Barnes need to come in the starting 11, absolutely. Holly says I think we will bounce back in Big Stell 3-1. Paul Hansen says 5-3 Toon would settle for any kind of win, absolutely. Predator says favourite number Gas for obvious reasons. Oh, Jesus Christ. 7-0 by half time, says Andrew.
Oh, wow.
3-1 to the Toon, says Ian. Toon on me says Peter will be on holiday with lasses around him on a nudist beach.
Oh, Jesus, Brian, man.
I don't know if they've got nudist beaches in bloody Lanzarote out there. I don't know. I've never been there.
I don't think they do.
I know it's the same time zone as us, so at least you know the match will be finished.
Yeah.
Ian, what was the score last night? Forgot to ask you, mate. Pete's taking Granny out on a dirty holiday. Got your mankini ready, Pete, says beer.
Oh, for God's sake, beer.
Gary says a Predator now, then that's quite enough of that. Troll says if Bruno and Big Joe is tired from international duty, I hope Miley plays. Yeah, who knows? Granny says, yeah, Pete's bringing his leather horse suit.
Oh, Jesus, wet.
Okay, right. We know what Pete's up to then, don't we? Ian says, I don't remember Predator. Lawrence says, Peter, you might have a good chance of watching the game versus AC Milan if you can find a bar with it being on an early kickoff. Yeah, because it's a 5:45 kickoff, isn't it? So,
yeah, it is, isn't it?
There'll be bars showing that. There'll be probably Geordie fans over there.
Oh, yeah. I don't see why not.
Andrew messing with Ian. It was 3-1, Ian. Right, Rolly. Newcastle v Brentford. What is your thoughts and score, please?
Well, we need to get back on track. When you look at the games we played so far this season, with Villa, did well against City, gave it away against Liverpool and got thumped at Brighton. So we've really had like 2.5 decent performances and one which wasn't good enough. But I think the other thing you've got to remember is we played 4 of the top sides in the division. I think that if we'd drawn 3 of those games, I don't think people would have been as despondent as they are with the 3 defeats. We'd still have the same number of points, but you don't want to get into the habit of losing. I think that a lot depends on who's fit. If Tonali's fit and Botman's fit, great. If they're not, I think that you have probably Sean Longstaff will slip into midfield, and I'd like to see Lewis Hall play at left back if he's fit enough, because Target didn't have a great game. And I mean, I love Dan Bird, but it shows that he hasn't played centre half for a long time in that Brighton game. I think that's a bit of a worry. I still start Isak up front and then bring Wilson on towards the end, either as a replacement or as in addition to him. Brentford are a very good side. I'd be happy for us to edge it 1-0. I think the result is more important than the score. We need the win. I don't care how it is. I'd take an own goal. I'd take an own goal with the goalkeeper clearing the ball into the backside of one of his defenders and it going into the net. I think it's more important that we win than the scoreline. And because of that, I'm just going to say 1-0.
That's not a bad shout, Rory, is it? I mean, the Academies played tonight. They played Huddersfield and drew 1-1 for Huddersfield Town. That's how the game ended. Andrew says sometimes I like sometimes three like toast on a night, sometimes three, sometimes only one. Sake, he's whining you know. Lawrence says, if Botman isn't fully fit, do we play Lascelles or Burn alongside Shea? That's a good point. Put Trips on the left back and Livramento on the right back, and put Hall in for Livramento could work. Yeah. Chin up the end. Scotland got a decent team these days. I actually expect a draw last night. I mean, look, this is going to be a tough game. Brentford aren't a bad side. We know that they're not. Even though they haven't got Ivan Toney, they're still scoring goals. Wissa is a dangerous player. And Buemo, we know, is a dangerous player. Josh De Silva, I think, is a very good midfielder. You've got Rico Henry, the left back. So they've got quality all around the team. Yes, they haven't got David Raya in goal, but I still think they'll give us a test, Brentford. But I can see us winning this game. And I hope we win this game because we need to get back to winning ways. And hopefully winning this game puts an end to a lot of the nonsense that a lot of these, so-called Newcastle fans, I'm not being funny, they can't be true fans because all true fans didn't want Eddie Howe to go in the last game. But when the meltdown was on after the Brighton game, oh yes, look, the Brighton game and everybody, not everybody, but just people who said they were fans wanting Eddie Howe out, which I thought was just absolutely ridiculous. But I think we'll beat Brentford. I really do, and I think we'll be clinical in front of the goal. If I was going to change the team around, I would definitely say I would probably bring if Botman's not fit. Yes, he may be putting the cells in there. You might have to. I don't think you'd want to risk Alex Murphy. He's too young at the minute. I know he had a good time in the States, but Lewis Hall, you could bring him in at the right centre back, but again, he's not really a massively match fit, so he's going to have a stint, I think, on the bench. I would agree with putting Trippier left back, playing Livramento right back. So that's not a bad move. And maybe, or you just put Burn back in centre back. I know it's a tough thing, but just to give the guy some confidence. But it's going to be tough regardless. But I think we'll win this game. I'm going to say say 2-0. I'm going to stand the fence and say 2-0. I'd be happy if we went out there and won 5 or 6-0, but absolutely clinical. But I'm going to say, I'm going to say 2-0. Yeah, absolutely. Wayne says 4-0 Newcastle. They've brought back Goddard on a 1-year deal, says Mason. As long as they qualify for the Euros, that's the main thing. Yeah. If Brentford's players are dangerous, should we call the police? What you been drinking, trolls? Enjoy your holiday, pizza, Sefton.
Yes, Sefton.
I don't know, Tony, if Brentford were at home, then yeah, it may be difficult. But for me, it's ours to lose at home. If we want to be up there at the end of the season, how can we make a home unbreakable fortress? Yeah, I'm not saying we're going to lose at home, Brentford, but I just think it'll be a tough game. And I'm going to say we'll win a 2-0. I'm sure they really will, though, Ian. Brentford says, from what I've seen, I can't see how they're not qualifying. Holly says, I think Bruno, Botman, Share, Trippier, Harvey Barnes, Almiron. Don't think Tonali will be playing. Keep him for the Champions League. Yeah, if Tonali's not playing, I would put Longstaff straight back in there. Absolutely. I think Isak. Do you know what I think? I think Isak may be on the bench on Saturday, and I think Wilson starts. And the reason I say that is they'll want to keep Isak for the Champions League. So I can see Wilson being the starter on Saturday, and if that is the start, then we know Isak's going to start in the Champions League. Charles says, well, I don't get drunk, so who knows? Hopefully. That's a terrible joke. Signing off. Tired off. We'd have seen all. How are you, the lads and lasses? See you later, Sefton.
Sefton, take care,
my friend. So, yes, I'm going to say 2-0. Right, so we're going to go into Sunday's games now. There's 3 games on Sunday. The first one is 2 p.m. kickoff. Sorry, it's 2 games Sunday. So the first one, and I'm going to come to Rowley first. We're heading down the south coast now. We're going to Vitality. It's Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Chelsea, who are just been beaten off Forest before the international break. Take it away, Rowley. Thoughts and score.
It's an interesting one, this, because though Bournemouth have lost a few games, they've actually looked good in them. They look good against Liverpool. I think Solanke looks like he's in some sort of form. It's going to be really difficult for Chelsea there, who, they have been underwhelming this season. Again, it just looks like a team of individuals. They have got some very good players, but they're not a team. I think Bournemouth will have a good go at them. It's a difficult one. It's going to be close. I'm going to say Bournemouth are going to sneak it 2-1.
That's not a bad shout. Joel says Chelsea will struggle with Sheffield United. Ian says 1-0 Chelsea. 1-1 says Paul. Peter says our last had a Ben, and apparently childbirth means you weren't capable of playing football. Who knew? Almiron's okay. Pete, what's your thoughts? Bournemouth v Chelsea.
It's be an interesting one as well. I don't think Bournemouth have looked that bad in games at times. They really, really haven't. Chelsea, well, has anything really changed from last season at the moment? I don't think it has much, to be honest. It really, really hasn't, has it? So, yeah. So, I think this will be a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I mean, Bournemouth, they're under a new manager, so obviously they're finding their way around. I think it'll be an interesting game at the Vitality. It can be a strange ground to go to. But Chelsea have looked out of sorts at the moment. They just do not look like a team. And it ain't going great for Chelsea. They lost to Forest. Um, it seems as if, Pochettino still got the problems there. Problem is you buy too many players in. I mean, look, like Mikhailo Mudryk, I do not rate him. I looked at him against England and I just thought he ran around like a headless chicken. It was just like watching the worst version of Almiron, in all honesty, because he just doesn't see. At least Almiron's got a bit of end product. He can score a goal, where Mudryk doesn't look like scoring at all. So that's why I say Mudryk's worse than Almiron. Yeah, I can see Bournemouth sneaking this, and I'm going to say Bournemouth win this 2-1. That's what I reckon. We'll see what the comments say. Yeah, Chelsea will struggle. 1-0 says, oh yeah, we did read them ones, didn't we? I hope Bournemouth stuff them, says Gary. Paul Gardner says, Murphy would be my first choice if Miggy isn't playing Gordon Barnes with Isak up top. Good shout. Predator says, Chelsea look good, awful, look good, god awful. The Poch effect isn't exactly working yet. I see Bournemouth turn them over 2-0. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's too many players were brought in. That's the problem. Wouldn't be my first choice. Tough one to call, says Lawrence. Yeah. Bournemouth 1-1, says Paul Gardner. 2-1 to Bournemouth, says Wayne as well. Okay. So the 4:30 game, which would have been our game, and it's this game instead, is we're going over to where Rowley lives in Liverpool, and I'll come to you, Pete. And it's to the blue side, and it's going to Goodison Park for the last season at Goodison Park. So it'll be the last time Arsenal visit there. And it's against, well, they might visit them in a cup, so who knows. But anyway, it's Everton v Arsenal. Everton have only got 1 point all season. Pete, what's your thoughts?
I think one winner, although Arsenal don't seem to get good results at Goodison Park as of late. I don't think they've won there in quite a while, actually.
If you go back last season, Dacia's first game was against Arsenal and beat them 1-0.
They did, yes. That was it.
Arsenal scored.
I think the last time Arsenal won there was Wenger's last season. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I think it was something like that. But do you know what? Everton are just rotten at the moment. Poor. I mean, sorry, if you need to get wins, you need to be beating teams like Sheffield United and things like that. Wolves have lost that one. I think the doom and gloom is going to continue for Everton, and I think Arsenal will try and end the rot as of late down at Goodison Park. I think Arsenal need to get their best players back in now. I think Jesus' stuff should be fit enough to start for them now. Look at the way he came on, and look how he had Delort on his backside for that third goal. Rice has proven to be a good buy. If Partey's back fit, hopefully that'll help them as well. I think this will be 3-0 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see what. See what people are saying. Predator says, I'd rather have Mickey come off the bench with all his energy to burn plus his crossing, and then product isn't great. It's not great, but it's a bit better than what Mudryk is. Mickey has a few assists, in my opinion, yeah. 2 few assists, yeah. 3-0 Arsenal, says Paul Anson. In fairness, I'd rather have Barnes on one side, Gordon on the other, with Isak or Wilson in the middle. Not a bad shout. Ian says 3-0 Arsenal. Gary says whitewash. Arsenal will run them ragged. Paul Gardner says 4-0 Arsenal. Predator says I'll have Tonali and Bruno sitting behind Wilson, but and Big Joe sitting in front of the back four. Not a bad shout. Arsenal should win this, says Lawrence. Absolutely. Rowley, I know you're chomping at the bit to get your bit on this for the Everton game, especially the being Everton and how much you don't like Everton. Give us your thoughts on this game and a scoreline. Let's have a realistic one, though.
Oh, does it have to be realistic? What can I say? I think Arsenal started the season well. As Pete says, I think Declan Rice has fitted in perfectly. They look dangerous. Nketiah scoring. Saka is just getting better and better. Got Jesus back. Martinelli. It's very hard to see Everton getting from anything from this game. Right, they beat Arsenal last season, but that was Dyche's first game. New manager bounce. Arsenal were awful that game. I don't see that happening again. Um, I think there'll be goals in this game. I think there'll be a lot of goals. I think Arsenal will be greedy and score most of them. I'd like to say 257-0, but I think that's a little unrealistic. So I'm going to go Everton 0, Arsenal 5.
Oh,
I think they could really do a number on Everton, especially if they get an early goal. They'll just fall apart because they're shocking. They really are bad. And the way they're playing at the moment, I think they'll finish below Sheffield United.
I don't think you're wrong there, Rolly, to be fair. Arsenal will pummel Everton, could be a cricket score, says Predator. Maybe the new Rolly actor will like Everton. Then again, maybe not, says Bia. Andrew says it's just pick realistic scores like me. That's why I'm in the bottom of the Super League 6. Arsenal 7-0. Oh, that's what I hope, says Trolls. Look, I think Arsenal will tear Everton apart. Everton just look an absolute shambles of a team. And I think if they lost a couple of players, like of Decore, I think that would be bad news for them. So
they've lost a Wobby as well.
Yeah, he's gone to Fulham. But then again, he's not that great of a player. Iwobi, he just looks great in a bad team, doesn't he? You know, they could probably throw me in the Everton side and I'd probably look like a Ballon d'Or player compared to everybody else. And I've still got a bit of, I've still got pace on me as well. So, I've still got pace. So, no, all in all, I think Arsenal win this game. And actually, Rolly stole my thunder because I was going to say exactly the same. I'm going to say 5-0. I think Arsenal will roll them over. Arsenal will get an early goal and set the precedent. And T-Rex is going to have a sore back by keep picking the ball out the back of the net. So, so Pickford will probably have to get a massage on his back later on because you'll be sick of bending down to pick that ball up. If it's more than 5, who knows? But I'm going to say 5-0. Andrew says, does Rolly speak to Granny like James Bond? Absolutely miss funny. Oh, God, Andrew. Predator says, I agree with Rolly. If Arsenal get an early goal, Everton will throw the towel and it could be 6, 7, 8, 9 or even 10. And I'm being realistic. Rolly would love it if it went to double figures. That's for sure. Right, okay. So we got the final game of the weekend. It's Monday Night Football. And I'm coming to Rolly first on this one. So we're heading down to the Midlands, to the East Midlands. And it is at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest versus Premier League new boys, Burnley, who again are yet to register a point. Vincent Company hasn't had it easy yet. Rolly's going to take the away on this one. What's your thoughts, Rolly, and a scoreline? Thank you.
Yeah, Burnley, again, they've had a tough start to the season result-wise. they've looked good in patches, but also they haven't got to the speed and the intensity of the Premier League yet. They'll get there, and I think they'll be okay. But I've actually been quite impressed with Forest this season so far. They've got that one new up front who can score a goal. I really like Gibbs White. I think they've done some decent business this summer. And for a change, they didn't buy a whole new squad like they did in the last summer. And I think that's helped them. The players in that squad that have played together for the best part of the season, and they're looking more solid. They know what they're doing. I was a bit surprised to let Brennan Johnson go, but obviously Steve Cooper doesn't fancy him because he was dropping him last season. And they got that, is it Elanga from Man United?
Yeah.
Who's looked really sharp, really quick, has caused a lot of trouble. I think Forest are going to finish comfortably in mid-table this season, and I see them getting all 3 points on Monday. And I'm going to say it's going to be 2-0 to Nottingham Forest.
Okay, thanks, Rolly, for that. I'll just get to some comments before I get to Pete. That's got to be a draw written all over it, 0-0, says Predator. Ian says that could be a draw 2-2. Paul Anson's going 1-1. Fancy Burnley to turn the corner. Gary says impossible to predict this one, boys. Anything could happen. Fancy Forest to get their revenge on their recent Carabao Cup meeting, says Lawrence as well. I mean, Pete, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think Forest have had a bad start. Burnley are very shocked with them how they've started. Not even a win yet as well, and that's very worrying since coming up as well. And Forest will be full of confidence after getting the win at Stamford Bridge as well. So, yeah, I think Forest are going to take all 3 points as well, and I'm going to say 2-0 as well at Forest.
Yeah. Don't forget Gordon, says Wayne. Forest 2, Burnley 1, says Paul. I mean, look, I think Forest have had a good start to the season. Yes, they've lost Brennan Johnson, but I don't think that's going to really weaken them too much. Danny Law, I don't know if he's fit or not. He's because he's been playing well for them, the young Brazilian kid. But I fancy Forest to beat Burnley. I think they will beat Burnley. It'll be a noisy City ground on Monday night under the lights. I'm actually going to say Forest win this 3-0. Troll says, yay, Kraft's back now. We have 3 right backs. The 4th will be fit soon too. And I mean, why we have 4 right backs makes no sense in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, look, Kraft's come back from that long injury against Tranmere. Nice to see him coming back, but he won't be in contention yet, that's for sure. Gary says, in case 3 of them get injured, Trolls. Rolly, they brought in 30 new players in the summer, says Predator. I didn't think they brought that many in the summer, but must have. Sorry, Rolly?
So they bought about 20 in last summer. They bought far less in this summer. If they bought 13, fair enough, but it's not as many as they did last season, which is my point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Livermento didn't need to be registered for the squad, yes, because he's under the age limit. A lot were free transfers, says Predator as well. Yeah, they got a freeze in, didn't they? So, yeah. I mean, look, all in all, not bad at all. Wayne says Forest to win 2-1. I think Forest win this as well. I mean, look, it's a Forest win for me all day. So, yeah, that's been brilliant. Right, guys and girls, I mean, it's been a great show. Thank you very much for everybody who's come on. So I'm going to go around the table. Rory, do you want to let people know where they can find you on your socials?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pole67, or X as it's called now. It just seems, I just can't bring myself to call it X because it just sounds silly.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't like that name X, do we? But that's what they call it now. Yeah, we don't like X. A great show, says Trolls. Thank you very much. Predator says some of them came in on deadline day alone. Pete, let people know where they can find you on your socials. And have you got anything coming up before you head off to Lanzarote on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be back for the match preview with myself and Mason, and Friday night for the Crazy PD's football live show with myself and Mason as well. And then Mason will be doing the live shows, so the match review and the player ratings, and a preview to like the Milan game and the review for that as well. And I might do some videos when I'm out there in Lanzarote as well. So follow me on my channel, PD Prologue. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, all PD Prologue as well.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Pete. I mean, yeah, you'll have a fabulous time. And yes, do some videos. And that'll be absolutely brilliant. If you put some little vlogs out there when you're out there, do video if you're in a bar with a load of Newcastle fans watching the game at Lanzarote as well. So that'd be fantastic. And if there is a few, Pete, do a few interviews and get a few on and just ask them what they think of the game, and then before the game and after the game, and then I don't know what state some of them will be in after the game, but but at least any of that are bits over still. You could say, look, how do you find the game's gone and things like that. So yeah,
I'll try and do that if I can.
Do a little, yeah. Why not, Pete? Do it. You see, hey, come on, yeah, you get some great ideas, Pete. You see, yeah. Ian says, "Cheers, guys. Great show. Have a great holiday, Pete."
Cheers very much.
Cheers, Ian, and thanks for the donation, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Great show, lads. Enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Gary says, "See you there. Always a pleasure with you all. Thank you very much indeed, Gary." Lawrence says, "Remember your videos from Australia in 2019, Peter?"
Oh yes, I remember they were doing those as well.
Yeah. Mason says, "I'll do the Sheffield United stuff when Pete's away as well."
Yeah, I should be back for the watch along.
Yeah. I meant the preview. Yeah, absolutely, Mason. To anyone that I've missed, take care and see you all in the next one, hopefully. Yeah, you too, mate, and hope you get this operation soon, mate. I think a lot of it's with these doctors being on bloody strikes not helping, is it? Andrew says, "Great to have you back on the tube. Enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed, Andrew." The tube, God, I remember that. That used to be a great show on Friday night, didn't it? On it used to be on ITV. The tube, didn't it? Oh, it was Channel 4. Channel 4, the tube. Channel 4. Yeah. Because used to go to Tiffany's, didn't they? Well, it's what was Tiffany's. But yeah, used to be a great show, that, the tube, didn't it? But that's iconic, isn't it? Am I thinking of the tube, or am I thinking of something else? Yeah. No, tell you what it is. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember which one it was. Andrew says before my time, Tony. Yeah, I think it was the tube. Do you know? I can't remember now. Anyway, but there used to be a show where you used to go around it used to be Tiffany's, and it's been all sorts of names, that nightclub. Still there at the bottom of John Dobson Street. Originally it was called the Oxford, well before I was born, but it's got the Oxford written on it and the stone on the wall. But yeah, had some great shows from down there. But yeah, have a good evening, lads, says Granny. Yes, Channel 4, Tony, says Ian. Yeah, absolutely. Some great iconic shows, wasn't there, of the past. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining tonight. It's been a pleasure to be back after the international break. Thank God normal football is resumed. Yes, we should be back with a preview. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow, and yeah, and definitely on Saturday the usual show of the pre-match live will be back as well. But I say as well, as soon as the news the other, I decide how and when, Tony, mate, hopefully it'll all go smooth. Yeah, no problem, mate. No, we're all behind you, mate. We're all want you to get better soon, mate. And yeah, we were just worried when you weren't on here, and you know, but so glad to see you on here again. It's an absolute pleasure to see you, mate. But yeah, so as I say, if you have enjoyed what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community, and that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So as I say, I should be back this week with another show, probably tomorrow. So do catch out for that one. Just look out and you'll see the notification if you've hit that bell. Till then, it's remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's bye-bye from me.
Me?
And it's goodbye from me too.
How are you, the lads?